Hey everyone, I'm really excited to be talking about this game Wayfinder today. And before we get started on anything else, I want to say I'm doing a giveaway of Wayfinder because I want more people to check this game out and play it. All you got to do is be a subscriber and comment what game has your favorite art direction. Let me know. Okay, a little background on how I heard about this game in the first place and kind of how it's changed. So when it was first announced, which was over a year ago, it was like a always online MMO type of game. Wasn't really my cup of tea. It's not that I don't like those games necessarily, but it can be a little overwhelming to try and engage in one just because things are always changing and you have to engage with the community to some degree, and it really just wasn't what I was looking for. But then back in May of this year, 2024, they came out with this announcement that they were changing things. And so they decided that they were going to make the game totally playable in single player. You could play it alone. You can still play co-op with a few people, but for the most part, it was not always online and you could just do it at your own pace. And this really excited me to hear that. So a little bit more on like how this game is rolling out. So it's technically out right now on PC and PlayStation 5, but it's going to have its official, what they call 1.0 launch on October 21st. They're going to be coming out with a Critical Role pack, which is super cool. I actually have never watched Critical Role ever, but these skins on this paid pack look pretty awesome. And since the game is only $25 to begin with, I am totally going to get this pack. I really dig the skins on this one, especially that center one with the red hair and horns. I just love that. Again, I've never watched Critical Role, but I want to support Airship Syndicate and the Wayfinder devs, so I'm totally going to be getting this. Okay, first things first, talking about Wayfinder, and the thing that just has me so excited and why I'm really digging this game, and it is the art direction. Everything about the art direction in this game is totally my cup of tea. This shot that I'm going to show here is really what had me intrigued with the game. And what's funny about this shot is I saw it and I was like, oh yeah, that's probably concept art. I doubt it, translates as well on screen. Sometimes there's concept art that you look at and you're like, oh wow, like that there's really a vision there. But then when it comes to the real game, whether it's practicality or developers wanting things to be a little more safe, they don't do it. But this, it translates directly on screen. I mean, I'll show what this exact location looks like, and something about this piece of art just speaks to me. I love the fusion of architectural design. I love how there's this like neon aesthetic going on with the medieval vibes, and the whole game has this kind of fusion of design, and I love that. I'm super into that. The art direction kind of reminds me of the TV show Arcane, where it is this kind of fusion between modern and medieval, and I really like that. You don't see that a lot in fantasy type genres, but it's cool. When you're walking around this city and you're going in these little pockets of storefronts that are clad in neon, but they also have this wood and metal. I'm a sucker for designs that kind of have a cluttered feel, that feel lived in, that feel like it's not just like an asset someone slapped in. And this game does that really well. Even in the open world environment, there's a lot of like ruins and there's a lot of just stuff to make you feel like things have come before, and I'm a big fan of that. I will say though, please, if anyone on the Wayfinder team is watching this, please out of photo mode. I think this game is so gorgeous. I want to capture it so bad, and what I'm left to doing is turning off the HUD and putting my character up against a wall and getting a shot, and it works for the most part. But I want to get some detail shots. I want to use some tools like depth of field. It is a gorgeous game, and yeah, I want to capture it even more. So in terms of feel, the game kind of feels like OG World of Warcraft. So I started playing World of Warcraft with Wrath of the Lich King. When I first started playing World of Warcraft, it felt, very straightforward for the most part, and the moment-to-moment gameplay was just fun. It was simple. And Wayfinder kind of feels a lot like that. There are like systems in the inventory where you can like put these gem slots that increase certain stats, and if you want to get nitty gritty with that, you can, but on the whole, you can just pop in, you can play the game, and it's just fun. You're just going around, you're hacking and slashing, the world's beautiful. The combat has kind of an old school action vibe. The moveset feels surprisingly weighty and powerful. Like when you do some of these moves, you really can feel it both in the vibration of the controller and just the on-screen sort of feedback. It feels heavy, and I really like that. Enemy and boss design also really surprised me. You remember in Elden Ring how you just keep stumbling upon new enemies who had really different attack patterns? This game does that, and I'm really surprised because, again, it's a much smaller game, but Here's like an example real quick of a boss fight where these spectral beings would damage entire areas of the arena, kind of forcing me to adjust my position and dodge out of the way. And again, with even regular field enemy designs, they have different movesets, they have different ways you have to go about dodging them and countering. It's really cool. Another thing I love is the music. This is composed by Gareth Coker. It's just amazing. Gareth has done a lot of scores like Ori and the Blind Forest, Halo Infinite, Immortal Phoenix Rising, and a lot more. The music actually matches the art direction really perfectly with how it blends orchestral and synth. It's just a really nice fusion, and actually I'm really a fan of it because a little anecdote I'll give you. When I was in college, I took a video game scoring class just because I was so interested in it, and we had a project where we had to come up with a video game score, and we had to create like the narrative for the game. And my score was actually sort of a fusion between jazz and synth because my video game concept was a detective who would go between timelines. So the future was kind of represented with the synth, and the current like 1920s was represented with the jazz. Actually, I'll give you a little sample right here. I know, I probably should have been a video game music composer instead of a YouTuber, but hey, at least I made that. Another fun thing are the voice actors. We've got a lot of really recognizable voices, like Jennifer Hale as Kestrel, JB Blanc as Wingrave, Steve Blum as the engineer, Charisse Booth as Omen, and my main man Darren DePaul is even in here as the Reaver King. It's really cool. I love to hear all these voices, a lot of them from Overwatch, but you know, it's a good voice cast. So a few slight negatives. I think the HUD needs more options. It's really cluttered. I wish you could turn certain things off. In fact, I like disequip certain items that have like a HUD placement because it tries to tell you when the item is ready to be activated. It's really annoying. I wish you could shrink it. I wish you could remove things. The other thing is the clarity on it is a little fuzzy even on quality. So I'm on quality mode, but still distant stuff kind of has like a fuzz. It's not as sharp as I'd like it to be. I'm really hoping that gets adjusted in the 1.0 release. And once again, I'll just say it. We need a photo mode, please. Out of photo mode. I need it. I'm having a total blast. I really can't wait for the full release. And I just don't remember having this much fun in a game like this, like an action RPG type of game, in a long time. So yeah, check it out if this seems like your cup of tea. And don't forget to dislike this video if you absolutely hated it. Till next time.